Hello, this is Nyasha Charandura from Major Sports Institute. Today is a very special day for us because we are presenting our mission statement, vision, and values. This is something that is very important because over the past 7-8 years, we've been growing across Africa. You've had some strides across Africa. But one of the key questions that people always ask is to know our mission, our vision, and values. I'll go from the beginning for my foundation before we run Major Sports. I'm a Christian. I'll start with one of the key verse that is on our logo, Major Sports. Whenever there's any branding of Major Sports, there's a verse, Proverbs 18:10. The verse goes like, "The name of the Lord is a fortified tower. The righteous runneth to it and are safe." Which means in the beginning, it is the name of the Lord that have called us on a mission. Sometimes people, they look at missions focusing on just maybe religious things, but everything that we do have to have a direction. And this is the verse that leads us on our mission. So I'll start by reading our mission statement and explaining some of the attributes within the mission, because it is what guides us as we move across Africa. For our mission is mainly in Africa. Remember our verse, "The name of the Lord is a strong tower, the righteous runneth unto it, and they are safe." We run it unto it for safety. A mission statement. We are dedicated to empower African coaches through applied sports sciences, knowledge, in line with their resources and culture. Africa have got cultures and there are resources that are in Africa. I've been privileged to be one of the sports scientists in Africa. And I discovered that one of the most difficult things in terms of education is centered on Europe and other continents, either Eurocentric or centered to other continents. Nothing have much to do with Africa. So there are things that we lack that we discuss in the values. Because the way we are bringing sports science to Africa, we are forgetting our identity. We are forgetting the resources that we have. We are forgetting who we are as Africans. Then it's going to take over. It's going to dilute us. It's a modern day colonization that comes if we don't have the identity that defines us as we apply scientific principles. Scientific principles, they come from God. For He is the creator of the universe, the creator of each and every person. They don't come from Europe. So I would like to go through our vision. The vision is very important because it determines where we are coming from and where we are going and how we are going to do whatever we are going to do. Our vision is, firstly, there's a statement which says African problems calls for African solutions. And these can only be achieved by igniting the creativity that leads to innovation and action, bringing everlasting solution through identity. So if we don't have an identity, it's very, very, very difficult for us to deal with our problems. Most of the time when we have the problems, we are going to seek the solutions in different venues. The problems have started in Africa. We know our challenges, our weaknesses, but we don't have an identity. We don't have norms that can come and say that when we have these problems, we use these norms. We are borrowing norms. We are borrowing everything. The same way we are borrowing everything, including culture in Africa. It's the same thing that is coming also in terms of sports science. There are areas like electronic performance and tracking system where we were blessed to be part of the first sports scientists to go deeper and yonder in Africa. I have more than 7 years of experience of using electronic performance and tracking systems. But I discovered that the most difficult thing is interpreting the data because we don't have the identity. As the community and the ecosystem of sports technology gathers, there's no inner identity which us as African has. We are just following the norms that are coming from different countries. Yet, we should have a starting point, which is an identity. This will lead us to our values as Major Sports Institute, as we are on a mission to empower African coaches into the sports scientific world, whilst they have an identity, which is now goes to our value. Our first value is identity. Do we know who we are? How we were created? How we have grown up? That identity is very, very, very important because it determines how we're going to deal with our athletes, our players, etc. You'll be shocked that the same people we adapt their concept, they know our identity. That's why when they take African players, African athletes, they know how to use them. But ourselves, we don't know because we are trying to raise them using their norms, not our norms. We don't have an identity. We have got certificates, PhDs, masters, and etc. But without an identity. I like countries like Botswana, the way they are doing in athletics. They discovered their identity. That's why they are succeeding. Countries that discover their identity, they can easily be able to excel. Look at Tanzania, the previous year, how almost all their national teams from the juniors up to the seniors managed to qualify for Africa Cup of Nations in different competitions without much of the inclusion of the foreign coaches. They managed to find their identity. They are working for their identity. If you go to their technical center, they are trying to find an identity which they have, which is the way Africa should move. There should be a model and an identity. And it is also part of our mandate, joining hands together with other organizations that are doing that to create an identity for African coaches, for them to be able to make an impact globally. We can only make an impact globally with an identity. If we don't have that particular identity, it's very, very difficult. The number two is integrity. Do we have the integrity? Can we trust each other? When you are given an opportunity to work with a brother, are you going to support them the way you're going to support if you're given a foreign individual to come and work in your country? Is there an integrity that they can trust that you can be able to support your brothers? Integrity is very, very, very important. Know your position. Support your brothers. Do you have that particular integrity? It's part of our mandate to make sure that the coaches that we raise, they have that particular integrity that can be able to take Africa to the next level. We come to the third one, innovation, creativity. The greatest innovation hub is in the human spirit and the mind. Africans, are we just only using our minds just to cram and pass, but not to come with innovation? I believe it's high time we also come with innovative ideas that are going to change Africa. As sports coaches, sports scientists, do we have a style of play that will say that this is coming from Africa? Or we are following tiki-taka? We are following whatever comes on because it has been brought from certain environments and norms. So there should be that particular innovation that comes, trial and errors that comes for us to be able to reach our goals. Some of those research are being done in Africa. They go there, they come back, polish them from our players, our resources, our environments. It's a cause for concern. I would move into one, the most important, which is the last one, the networking. Do we actually have a network that we have of coaches across Africa? I've seen many countries adopting different systems of coaching across different sports codes that have nothing to do with their identity, that have nothing to do with integrity, that have nothing to do with innovation. And they think they are up there in the game. But when you look at the way results are coming, they're getting worse, 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 and worse. It's high time we know that African problems calls for African solutions. We need to raise leaders that have these values: integrity, identity, innovation, and the ability to network and come together as brothers in Africa. Thank you very much. This is Nyasha Charandura from Major Sports Institute. We are on a mission to transform Africa. Thank you.